In 1970, Soviet scientists started drilling a hole into the Earth. They didn't stop for 24 years. By the time they were done, they had gone deeper than anyone in human history, over 7 miles straight down. Then they welded it shut and never fully explained why. This is the Kola Superdeep Borehole, and what they found still doesn't have a clean explanation. The project started simple. The Soviet Union wanted to drill deeper into the crust than anyone ever had, to see what was actually down there instead of guessing from models. They picked a remote site near the Arctic Circle and started drilling in 1970, aiming for the boundary between crust and mantle. Nobody expected what they'd hit on the way. By 3 miles down, the drill brought up something that shouldn't have existed at that depth: water. Not from any lake or aquifer connected to the surface. This was water locked inside the rock itself, squeezed out of mineral crystal structures under pressure scientists believed made water impossible at that depth. It was there anyway. Then came the rocks. At around 4 miles down, geologists expected dense, unfossilized igneous rock. Instead, they pulled up rock containing microscopic plankton fossils over 2 billion years old. Fossils that deep meant the crust had been folded and buried by forces nobody had fully mapped. The deeper they went, the less the ground matched the textbook. By 7 miles down, in 1989, the temperature at the drill bit reached 356 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly double what geologists had predicted. The heat was rising far faster than models said it would, and combined with rock that had turned plastic instead of solid under the pressure, it made drilling any further physically impossible. The equipment couldn't survive conditions the science hadn't predicted. This is also where the stranger stories start. A recording, allegedly picked up by microphones lowered into the borehole, began circulating online, described as human screaming, rising from the depths. The sound from hell. It's almost certainly not real. No credible documentation ties any such recording to the actual project, and the audio traces back to horror media, not Soviet archives. But the fact that story took hold at all says something. People wanted the deepest hole ever dug to mean more than rock and heat. The truth didn't need embellishing. In 1992, after 24 years and a final depth of 40,230 feet, drilling stopped. Officially, temperatures had gotten too extreme, the rock too soft, equipment failure too frequent to justify continuing. The Soviet Union had also collapsed the year before, and funding dried up fast. By the mid-1990s, the site was abandoned. In 2005, the hole was sealed with a welded metal cap, and today the facility sits rusting in the Russian Arctic. But here's the detail that keeps the story alive. 40,230 feet down, and the mantle, the actual goal, was still miles away. Humanity's deepest excavation into its own planet didn't stop because it succeeded. It stopped because the planet made it physically impossible to go further. We still don't know exactly what's underneath where they stopped. We've mapped the moon in more detail than we've mapped what's directly beneath our feet. We've sent probes past the edge of the solar system. We've never gotten more than a few miles into the ground we stand on.